My birthday party was yesterday and all my friends decided to get me stationery as gifts, so thank you to them if you're watching. But because I got so much stuff, I wanted to give you guys a quick little stationery haul of what was gifted to me. They're not like Tombow brush pens or like the stuff you see everywhere. These are like random Walmart finds that might actually be good and cheap pens for you guys. I will test all the different things and recommend you guys the ones that you should try. I will do my best to link all of the stationery I mentioned in this video and affiliate links down below, so if you want to check them out and grab yourself some cheap stationery, the description box will have everything you need. What should we do first, journals or pens? Let's do pens first. The first thing is this Tombow Fudenosuke set with the hard tip and soft tip. I literally just said that none of the stuff was going to be cliche, but my friend Sophie got me this, and she knows that I love these pens. They're such a staple, honestly, and I needed a refill. Okay, let's do a little pros and cons, shall we? So for the Tombows, they're very versatile and you can use them for both calligraphy and line art. I use these pens all the time. I love them so much, but the soft tip is kind of hard to control, especially for beginners, and the Tombow brand is usually kind of pricey, but I will admit that the rest of the stationery I'm recommending in this video are cheaper, so just keep that in mind. Okay, the next thing is the Zebra mild liner pack, which is so cute. It's the double-ended one, and it says it's a fluorescent scent, which means I'm assuming they're like highlighter colors. One end is a chisel nib, and then one end is a fine tip. Usually for the Zebras, I like using the brush pens, but these are actually going to be really helpful, especially for like highlighting stuff, like an actual school, use it for a highlighter, not in your bullet journal. So I think these have a lot of uses to them. So I've used these Zebra mild liners before, and it's nice that they're dual-ended, and actually for these pens, especially the fine tip isn't too fine, which is rather nice, but it does not have a brush nib, it's only a chisel nib, so I don't know if it's really useful for bullet journaling, and it also only has highlighter colors and not other colors in this pack, which can get kind of annoying. The next thing I got are these fine liners. These are called the So Fine fine liners. Oh, they're from Typo. Typo is a store that we have in the mall, but they have like really random stationery, like not necessarily art supplies, more like journaling supplies, because they have a lot more journals and like pens kind of things, but these look really cute and they're nice colors. As you can see, there's like a purple, a peach, and a pink, so I'm excited to try these out. So for these fine liners, I think they write really well. They have some pretty colors to them and they're really good for note taking especially, I think. However, there's some cons because it's only a pack of 3, which is a little annoying, and personally I don't love flat tipped pens because you cannot write with them unless it's exactly at a 90-degree angle to the paper. Okay, next thing I got was these Elegant Writer calligraphy pens. I'm actually so intrigued by these. So they apparently have these chisel nibs on them, but it says it's a calligraphy marker, and they come in like 5 different colors, like blue, green, black, red, and brown. So like, I don't know if I can use this for my type of calligraphy. It might be for more like traditional calligraphy, but even if so, like, I'm down for trying this. I'd like to see how it works. For these calligraphy pens, I think they have a lot of cool colors and the ink flow is really nice, and it's a traditional nib style, so if that's what you're looking for, this is probably a pretty perfect pen. However, there is definitely a learning curve, especially for me. I'm used to brush lettering, and so this was so difficult to use, as you can see, but I'll definitely just have to teach myself more traditional calligraphy, but hey, if that's your niche, then these are definitely some good pens for you. Speaking of calligraphy, my lovely friend Chandani got me this calligraphy kit, also from Typo. So this one is more very traditional calligraphy. I already have a quill pen with different nibs on it and you can like dip and write or whatever, so this is kind of similar, but it basically has all these different nibs on it, as you can see, which I think have different thicknesses. Yeah, so like the thickness at the top of the pen differs depending on how thick you want your writing to be. And of course the jar of ink, which is very helpful because I'm like running out of ink. And then maybe I should just open the packaging so I can show you properly. This is like the main pen situation, and then you put a nib into the end and you can like change your nib. So I have something similar to this, but I'd like to try and like compare the differences because that looks fun to play with. For this set, I love all the different nib options, and also I love that it comes with ink, so like, you're definitely prepared. If you use this set, you don't have to buy anything extra, but again, this definitely comes with a learning curve, and especially you have to remember to keep dipping the nib because it's very traditional and obviously the ink isn't flowing, so it's gonna take some practice, but it is very vintage and elegant. The last like little pens I got are these tinted watercolor pencils, which I think are so cute. I forgot who gave this to me, but whoever did, I love you, because these are actually so interesting. Essentially, you just like color what you want with like colored pencils, you know? And I think they have like, yeah, they have all sorts of different colors, like red, pink, the entire rainbow. And then you add water to them and they blend out, which makes them more watercolory, which is actually takes the stress out of it, because I'm much better at like pencil drawing and like detail drawing than watercolor. Really the best of both worlds. I love these watercolor pencils. I think they're the best of both coloring and painting worlds, and because you can color first, they're definitely easier to control than just sprawling watercolor. However, However, it's hard to tell what color the pen is going to be before you add the water to it, and you also have to be careful what paper you're using so it doesn't bleed through, but I think it's going to come with any watercolor, so these are definitely a better option. Okay, so those are all the pens that I got, and I got a couple journals, so I want to go through that. So this one is just a funny little journal. Apparently it's from Walmart, so I assume it's cheap. So if you're looking for some cheap stationery, Walmart, Target, like you can find cute bullet journals with like these cute little covers. This one says making things happen. But you can find this stuff everywhere. You don't have to like buy some expensive notebook therapy Arch and Olive notebook to have a good bullet journal. It's just simple. It has the dot grid pages. I don't know how many pages it is, but hey, it does the job, honestly. And I might use this for like bonus spreads. You know, I make spreads like reading journal spreads or back to school spreads, stuff like that, where I don't actually use them, so I'm just making them for you guys. I might put it in a journal like this because it's just an extra journal I have on the side, you know? For this journal, it's kind of cute. The pen loop in the front is cool, and there's of course a dot grid. However, it is an off-brand journal, so it doesn't quite lay flat because of the spine type, and it doesn't look like a traditional size like an A5 or a B5. No elastic closure, so just keep that in mind. And then someone else gifted me an Artist Loft journal. This one is thick. She is chunky, okay? I don't know. Okay, so there's a couple little stats on here. I know Artist Loft is a company known for like their pens and markers more than their journals, more like an art side than a bullet journal side. However, it is a dot grid journal, and it says it has 180 pages and 120 GSM. So in case you're interested, GSM refers to the thickness of paper. So like watercolor paper is really thick, so the water doesn't bleed through. So it's 300 GSM. My personal bullet journal is an Arch and Olive bullet journal, and that's 160 GSM. So it's like kind of half the thickness. This one's 120 GSM, and you can definitely feel that the pages are thinner. So if you have a thick, really ink heavy marker, if you use watercolor, it's probably gonna bleed through or at least go through these pages. However, I always say you can still use it on sticker paper, stick it in. I have a video for that. It'll be linked down in the description box below about how to use watercolor or alcohol markers in a bullet journal, even with thin paper. However, this looks like, oh, and there's contents at the front too. That's kind of cute. There's like a contents page in the front. Also, I believe I saw, yeah, a key page. So if you have different keys for your bullets in your bullet journal. It has a pen loop, strap. Yeah, okay, there's a pocket in the back, 2 bookmarks. Like, it's really checking all the boxes for a much cheaper price. Artist Loft, got you. Sponsor me. I would love to be sponsored by Artist Loft. This Artist Loft journal is thick and good quality. It has a dot grid, closure, pen loop, pocket, key and contents, all the things. However, the key and contents could be a con, at least it is for me. I want to write my own. And also, it does have thin paper. It only has 120 GSM. And then the last thing, and this might be one of my favorite things I got, I'm so excited about this, is someone gave me a premium black paper sketchbook. Look at this thing. The entire sketchbook has black paper. Are you insane? That is so cool. It says ideal for colored pencil, chalk, or oil pastel, gel pens, and other opaque media. Yeah, so I love a good white gel pen situation, and I'm pretty sure this would be so fun to do. Like, what if I did like graphic portrait, like with what's it called, a graphite pencil, you know? And like it would probably show up on here really well, especially if I did like shading, because like it would catch the light, the silver would. Oh, that'd be so pretty. I feel like there are a lot of different things I could do with it. I could also tear out the paper, put it in my bullet journal. This is so many versatile uses. It says it has 192 pages, micro perforated pages. Wait, yeah, okay, they have a little perforated line on the inside, so I could really easily tear it out. This is it, y'all. Yeah, I am pumped about this. This black journal is amazing quality. I was obsessed with it, and the perforated pages are such a plus for me. However, there's still only 110 GSM, and of course only black paper in the notebook, so there are some limitations, but I think you can use it for both art and bullet journaling. Hopefully you guys found something that was like rather inexpensive, something that you could probably purchase if you're not trying to spend like $30-40 on one journal. You can probably find some cheap alternatives at Walmart, Target, make them work the same way as any of the pens that I'm using, which in case you haven't noticed, I usually get a lot of stationery gifted to me, which is why I can use all sorts of great stationery. I'm very blessed and thankful to be able to do so, but it's not necessary. You can always make a bullet journal with just a notebook and a pen, and that's essentially it. I make a bullet journal and productivity related videos every week, so if you want to see more content from me every Saturday, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. My Instagram will be over here on the screen if you want to go check her out. I also have an Etsy sticker shop. Everything will be down in the links below. I've actually done a couple videos like this where I've recommended different stationery for you guys, so if you want to see more recommendations about my stationery favorites versus my stationery regrets that I've purchased myself at least, I will have the link on the screen over here, so go check that video out and I will see you over there. Toodles!